Bill Wang, who has been kind enough to share with us his personal journey through polycystic liver disease and in the background of ADPKD. So Bill, please come forward.
Well, this nice PPT was made by Marina for me. So how do I move the slides? Oh, sorry. Okay. This one, right?
Yeah,
okay.
You may want to stand over there.
Oh, that's okay. I have my script. Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Pei, for inviting me. I think I'm as the only non-scientist, non-clinician speaker in the room. I really feel humbled to share the stage with arguably the most famous PKD expert in the world gathering here. So thank you for having me here. Actually, all of you have been my virtual professors through YouTubes and professional journals and other conferences. And so thank you very much. Over the next 50 minutes, I'm going to share my journey as a patient living with ADPKD, but also along with its often overlooked a cousin, polycystic liver disease, which in my case has been proven to be quite significant, and which led my combined liver and kidney transplant 6 years ago. So I would discuss mainly the key quality of life issue and the emotional and physical struggle I faced and process of the shared decision-making with my providers in the treatment options, and how I ultimately embraced my journey towards healing. Now, I vividly recall the time that I was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease. I still remember today. That was, when I had some checkup for something else, then the doctor told me that, oh, we found a cyst on your kidneys. And then I was just ring the bell because my father died of PKD in his 40s without benefit of replacement treatment, without benefit of tolvaptan, of course. So, and also, my sister also had PKD. So, you can imagine my poor mom looking at her family, say, 50% chance turn out to be 100% reality. And that's very difficult for her. And so we always need to be mindful of the caretakers of a family with PKD disease. Now, initially, I choose denial because I know this is going to be tough and there's no treatment. So, and Stephen told me that was his approach as well. So I was not alone. Even a very well-educated person choose that route. So there is a reason for patients do things and think things, and there is a rationale behind it. So we as providers need to be more empathetic. I mean, although, rationally, we all know that early detection, early intervention, the hypertension treatment is all important, but that message need to be get crossed more effectively, and that's up to our providers to speak in the patient's language, and that also up to the patients to upscale our game to have a better health literacy and medical literacy. And that's part of the job I, as a patient group leaders, to do. I'm trying to bridge the gap between the providers and patient groups, and just to make sure that they can communicate more effectively. Now I'm going to show you some photos. That was me. You can see the belly, the tummy was very, very big. And now I put on a suspender, not for the cool reasons, but for, if I don't have suspenders, my trousers will drop off, right? So that was me. And then I will show you what's after my transplant. See, the tummy is gone. And most significantly, I could see my toes for the first time in many years. That was, to me, it's significant. I could not see my toe. I could not read my scale readings. I have to use a special machine to weigh myself. So that's the sort of physical impact on my body shape, but also it has a very significant mental impact on me. As I said, I had a family history. I had vivid memory of how my father suffered this disease. Now, in terms of the quality of life, my tummy was so big that I could not eat, I could not breathe. I had really difficulty sitting down on the hard seat because my bone would touch the hard seat, and which makes me very, very uncomfortable. And when I sleep, I have to get into a certain position, and otherwise it would be very, very difficult for me to get into sleep. So all these sort of internal space crunch issue had a very negative impact on my quality of life. Now, ultimately, the doctor said, it's time for you to do a combined transplant because at that time, my bile duct was probably blocked by the liver cysts. And so the bilirubin shoot off the roof. And that's where the medical decision was such that they have to do a combined transplant. Now, beyond the physical uncomfortableness, I would say the mental toll was probably even more having even more effect on me because I just don't want to think about it because of family history. But on the positive side, I did choose to continue my professional practice as a way of a mental sort of a therapeutic way of offsetting the impact of that disease. Let me see. Now, this is a picture of a contrast that on the left-hand side, that's I was practicing as a lawyer, so I acted like a lawyer, but my tummy is big, right? So after the surgery, the tummy is gone, back to normal. And but at that time, I was, it's a big contrast. Now, when my doctor said to me that you have a kidney failure, that's when I was, sort of getting a wake-up call. You say, you cannot avoid anymore. That's where when I try to do a lot of research and try to understand the disease and try to understand how to become a more sort of effective patient, and I did quite a bit of research on this disease, and your names all came up in the literature. So I'm so glad that I can be in the same room with you guys today. Um, and also, focus on little things. For example, celebrate little success. Just been through a tough day. Been and walk into in the nature, and walk in hustling, bustling street of Hong Kong, gives me a little comfort feeling. Now, my transplant came as a gift of my 50th birthday gift. Now, on the left-hand side, I was celebrating my 50th birthday with my wife. And on the right-hand side, it's 1 year, it's my anniversary of my successful transplant. So what happened was on my 50th birthday, that was a Friday. So I eat a big meal, and because Saturday that was my routine dialysis time in hospital. So and big meal and think about detox the next day. So the next day I went to the dialysis center, and they halfway through, and they called me and saying, "Oh, you need to be admitted tonight." I said, "What? I'm doing fine." He said, there's a chance for your transplant." So here I am. When I woke up, I was in ICU. Now on the right hand side of picture was was taken recently. It's my revisit of that ICU room with the head of ICU of the hospital. Now you realize there's a room number 4 on top of that picture, and this is exactly the same room number 4, but the walls kind of different because they did the fit out work, but the chief of the ICU said, no, that's your room. That's exactly your room. We did our fit out work. And so that's he's sort of trying to sort of reconstruct the theme, and say, I said to him, I said, "Look, I remember all the nurses who took care of me, and I gave 3 names." And he said, "Yeah." He get on the computer and did a search. All 3 names came up. Unfortunately, they all shifted roles and moved somewhere else. Now, after my surgery, I kind of did a lot of volunteer work, including, giving myself to the medical students' examinations. One of the items is to check my abdomen, and for them to find out what happened with me. And that's tricky because it's my scar is not a typical sort of a renal transplantation, because and it's not typical a liver transplantation either. So it was a midline scar with a transcend scar. So now the gentleman standing in the middle is we call him a godfather of nephrology in Hong Kong. So Professor Yu, who started nephrology in Hong Kong, and the person on the right is my liver doctor. So I'm doing a lot of volunteer work. Supporting the peer patients, having a lot of ward visiting, just to make sure that our peer patients see me and see the hope, and hopefully that they can get the same excellent care that I got. I'm also into the sports. These are the preparations for transplant games in Hong Kong and worldwide. And on the right-hand side is a running picture, and what my running mate is actually my renal doctor at my hospital. So that was quite sweet. I'm also into this organ donation promotion and sharing and making programs for kidney health talks, and I receive interviews by various people, making films, and attending conferences, speaking everywhere. Oh, now this is my favorite slide. I said that I know most of you through my YouTube, and from time to time I meet physically with you. Dr. Pei came to Hong Kong to give a talk, and we had some reception for him. And I went to WCN last year, met Dr. Torres, and Dr. Kaplan and others, and I actually met Greg and Terry and in Thailand. So you are my heroes. You offer a hope for PKD patients, and so keep on doing good work for me. And the picture on the right-hand side, the bottom right side, are the young doctors from Hong Kong who are in the ISN Emerging Leaders programs, and they are passionate about PKD. So that's our hope. So I'm also writing articles and giving talks to medical students on person-centered care. I would end my talk with this saying: work hard for something we don't care about is called stress, and working hard for something we love is called passion. And attending this conference, I see a lot of passions in the room. So thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill, for sharing your personal experience. And it is really very moving for us to hear a patient's perspective. And thank you so much for advocating for your peer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.